The taste of the world is dust and fiber. For the small clan of Australopithecus afarensis, huddled in the sparse shade, a meal is a tedious, joyless process of chewing through gritty tubers and tough leaves. Their powerful jaws, built for this grinding work, extract the meager energy needed to see another sunrise. This is the grim economy of their existence, an unceasing battle against starvation played out over 3 million years ago. It is a life dictated by a simple, brutal rule: the calculus of energy spent versus energy gain. Optimal foraging theory is not a concept to them, but a reality written in their bones. One of them, a young male named Kael, is different. While the others chew with a resigned focus, his gaze is distant. The dull sustenance in his mouth does not satisfy the sharper hunger in his mind. He watches, always watches. He sees the way that eagles soar, the way the lizards hunt. A student in the great, silent school of the savannah, his intelligence is a restless, probing thing, a trait that sets him apart from the practical, moment-to-moment survival of his kin. He represents a subtle but powerful current in the river of hominid history. His attention is captured by a commotion near a rocky outcrop, by a honey badger. A creature of pure, fearless aggression is locked in a frantic battle with a fissure in the rock. A low, angry hum fills the air, audible even from a distance. The badger ignores the cloud of stinging insects, its thick hide and near impenetrable armor. It digs and claws, emerging with its snout dripping, tearing at a waxy, sticky prize. Kael watches, mesmerized, when the badger finally departs, leaving a scene of carnage. Kael's curiosity overwhelms his caution. He approaches the rock. The air is thick with the smell of fury and something else, something sweet and intoxicating. He finds a few dropped fragments of the badger's prize. He touches a sticky, golden tear, and lifts it to his lips. A star explodes on his tongue. It is a sensation with no precedent, a sweetness so intense it is almost a form of pain. It is the sun, liquefied. It is a concentration of energy unlike anything he has ever known. This is a discovery that will alter the course of our human evolution. A moment when a new, high-value resource enters the diet of our human ancestors. He looks from the sticky residue on his fingers to the angry, buzzing insects still circling the fissure. He follows their flight path with his eyes, tracking them back to their source. There, high on the sheer cliff face above, is their fortress, a vast, living stain on the rock. A pulsating community of tens of thousands, with golden nectar weeping from its lower edges. The humming stone, his clan, seeing his strange obsession, grunts in disapproval. They show him old scars on their arms from chance encounters with bees. They see a wall of rock and a cloud of poison. Kael sees only the liquid sun. The clan sees death. He sees a reason to risk it. The obsession takes root. Kael spends his days watching the cliff face, his mind a whirlwind of desire and calculation. He neglects his foraging duties. The clan's disapproval is a palpable thing, a series of dismissive grunts and worried glances. They see his fixation as a form of madness, a waste of precious energy. The humming stone is a taboo, a place of pain guarded by a million tiny spears. But Kael is in the grip of a new kind of hunger, not for calories, but for a solution. He is a primitive engineer trying to solve an impossible problem. The answer comes, as it often does in this world, from fire. A lightning strike on the far ridge ignites a patch of dry grass. As the smoke drifts across the savannah, Kael observes a strange lethargy fall over the insect world. A swarm of agitated wasps near their ground nest becomes sluggish, confused. The connection sparks in his mind, a cognitive leap across a chasm of ignorance. Smoke. The fire's breath does not kill, but it perseveres. It is a weapon not of force, but of confusion. This is foresight in its purest form. The ability to see a natural effect and imagine it as a controlled cause. He now has a key. The hard choice crystallizes into a plan. He spends a day preparing. He finds a thick, dry branch of ironwood. He gathers bundles of the driest grass, tying them to the end with strips of sinew. He fashions a small pouch from a scrap of hide. He is building the tools for his heist. That evening, as the others sleep, he approaches the clan's fire, the heart of their community. He carefully takes a single glowing ember and drops it in a shell of green leaves. He is stealing a spark of their collective warmth to fuel his solitary, dangerous ambition. An old female, his mother, watches him from the shadows. She does not try to stop him. In a silent gesture of desperate hope, she presses a water-filled gourd into his hands. It is an acknowledgement that he is going, and a prayer that he will return. This is the emotional turning point, an act of altruism that blesses a fool's errand. He reaches the base of the cliff as the first hints of dawn pale the sky. The climb is a vertical nightmare, but his body, a legacy of a life spent in the trees, understands the language of ledges and grips. His long arms and grasping toes, the tools of arboreal locomotion, find purchase on the sheer rock face. Below him, the world shrinks. Above him, the hum of the hive grows from a whisper to a deep, resonant roar, the sound of a thundercloud trapped in stone. This is a primal fear. The terror of heights compounded by the threat of the waiting swarm. He pulls himself onto a narrow ledge just below the hive. It is a vast, pulsating curtain of living insects. The ancestors of the bee-men now call Apis mellifera. He unwraps the ember, blows it gently into life, and ignites his torch. The grass catches, sputtering into a thick, acrid smoke. He lifts the smoking brand. He is about to make his pact with the thunder. He thrusts the smoking torch into the heart of the hive. The reaction is instantaneous. The deep, resonant hum explodes into a high-pitched scream of collective fury. A living cloud of thousands of bees erupts from the waxy combs. A black, swirling vortex of defensive rage. The smoke confuses them, scrambling their senses. But it does not eliminate the threat. It only makes their attack more chaotic. They swarm him, a hellish, stinging carpet. The pain is immediate. 1,000 tiny fires igniting all over his skin. They crawl into his hair, his ears, his mouth. His world is reduced to a roaring, agonizing blur. But Kael does not retreat. He is a creature possessed, driven by the memory of that single, explosive taste of sweetness. His survival instinct screams at him to let go, to fall, to end the torment. But another, newer instinct, the desire for the prize, the will to see his plan through, is stronger. He endures, while one hand holds the torch. The other, protected by a piece of hide, claws at the waxy structure of the hive. It is warm and brittle. He rips away a large comb. It is heavy, impossibly so, and drips with the thick, golden nectar he has risked everything for. This is the sun's bitter tears, a treasure bought with a currency of pure agony. He stuffs the comb into his leather pouch, his movements clumsy, his body shuddering with the poison of 100 stings. He has what he came for. Their descent is a controlled fall, a desperate scramble down the rock face, his limbs trembling, his vision blurring. He does not remember reaching the bottom. He collapses in a heap, his skin already beginning to swell, his breath coming in ragged, painful gasps. The pouch, his trophy, lies beside him. He stumbles back into the clan's camp hours later, a grotesque and terrifying sight. His face is a swollen, unrecognizable mask, one eye is sealed shut. He can barely walk. The others cry out in alarm, rushing to his side. They see his monstrous appearance, the clear evidence of his folly, but then they see the pouch. He fumbles it open and pulls out the dripping comb. A low murmur of ripples through the group. The scent alone is a thing of magic. He breaks off a piece and offers it to his mother. She hesitates, then takes it, her fingers brushing his swollen skin. She tastes it. Her eyes go wide. One by one, they all taste it. The children, the elders, the hunters. For a moment, the brutal, fibrous world of the savannah disappears, replaced by a universe of pure, unadulterated sweetness. The immense caloric density of the honey is an immediate, powerful jolt to their malnourished bodies. It is a miracle. They look from the honey to Kael's orchard, swollen face. They finally understand. The price of this miracle is written on his skin. This is the moment of resolution. The birth of a new, complex understanding. Kael is a hero. But his heroism is a terrifying thing. He has not just brought them a new food. He has brought them a new kind of courage. A new calculation of risk and reward that will propel their species towards an unknown future. He has stolen fire from the gods. And been burned in the process. In the days that follow, the clan tends to Kael's wounds. Their touch a mixture of reverence and fear. He is a living testament to a new possibility. The humming stove, once a symbol of danger, is now a beacon of hope. A future resource to be carefully and bravely exploited. This single act of daring has irrevocably altered their path. A small but significant catalyst in the great adaptive radiation of our lineage. The study of paleontology can uncover the shifting diets of our ancestors through the chemistry of their bones. But it cannot capture the raw courage of the first individual who dared to defy instinct for the sake of a new idea. Kael's theft was not just about food. It was an act of pure intelligence, of observation, planning, and execution in the face of overwhelming odds. He demonstrated that the greatest tool for survival was not a strong jaw or a sharp rock, but a mind that could see a connection between smoke and safety, between risk and reward. We are the children of that audacious theft. Every scientific breakthrough, every artistic masterpiece, every leap into the unknown is a distant echo of that first, terrifying climb. He showed them that the world held secrets, and that the brave and the clever could steal them. The question is, what sweetness do we now seek, and what price are we willing to pay in the stinging darkness? The world belongs to those who are willing to be stung. What happens when the new discovery is not a food, but a poison?